Hi, this is Sera Taíno, and I'm back to read another favorite poem for National Poetry Month. Today is April 5th, 2020, just so I can keep track of my videos. Today I'm going to be reading a poem by Boris Pasternak. It is one of the 25 poems that is at the end of the only novel he's written, which is Dr. Zhivago. One thing I do want to say about Pasternak is, I won't go into his life story because it was so rich. I mean, he was such a central political figure during the beginning of the 20th century. He survived and lived through World War One, World War II, Tolstoyism, Stalin. In fact, he was such a controversial figure in communist Russia that when he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, he had to turn it down for political reasons, even though his posterity were able to claim it afterwards. Anyway, so I'm going to be reading one of the poems that are at the end of this novel. When it was published, it wasn't published in Russia. It was written and it had to be smuggled out of Russia. It was smuggled to Italy, where it was then translated to other European languages, including English and Spanish and Italian and so on. So the poem in translation, he uses a lot of rhyme and meter, of course, but his poems were mostly rhymed. And when they're translated, though, it's really hard to preserve that rhyme scheme. When translators have attempted to do so, it's come out kind of clunky. I think I read somewhere that it was like a bad version of Tennyson. So I prefer either the original translation, which preserves the spirit and the meter, or some of the really exciting modern translations that have come about where the language is a little bit simplified. But I'm going to stick to the original. There is one poem in here that has particular personal interest to me, and I'll explain to you at the end why. The poem I'm going to read is called White Night. It is written by Uriel Zhivago, who is the protagonist of Pasternak's novel, Dr. Zhivago. I have visions of a remote time, a house on the Petersburg side of the Neva. You, the daughter of a none too well-off landed proprietress, the land being out in the steppes, are taking courses and were born in Kursk. You are a darling. You have admirers. This night you and I have made ourselves cozy on your windowsill. We are looking down from this skyscraper of yours. The street lamps are just like butterflies of gas. The morning has flicked us with its first chill. That which I am telling you is so much like the far-off vistas now plunged in sleep. You and I are in the grasp of precisely that timid devotion to a mystery which holds St. Petersburg spread like a panorama beyond the unencompassable Neva. There, far, far among thick-wooded landmarks on this night, so vernal and so white, the nightingales roll and trill their paeans, filling with rumbling the city's wooded limits. Their frenzied trilling surges, the song of each tiny, dull-hued singer stirs rapture and awakens unrest deep within each ensorcelled grove. Night, like a barefooted pilgrim woman, is creeping close to the fences as she makes her way there, and the tracks of our murmurs, which she has eavesdropped, trail after her from our windowsill. Amid echoes of these overheard murmurs, the boughs of the apple and cherry trees bedeck themselves in whitish blossoms in the gardens with their rough-hewn palings, and the trees themselves, white as specters, come out on the road, jostling and thronging, just as if they were weaving their farewell to the white night which has witnessed so very many things. Now, one of the things I love about this poem, I was writing Slant Rhyme, which is my short romance featuring the poet Belmira Saez, who encounters her love interest, Daniel Parker, during one of her poetry readings. So a couple of things that inspired me. Number one, at the end of Slant Rhyme, it features a poem by Belmira, similar to Dr. Zhivago featuring Uriel, Dr. Zhivago's novel featuring Uriel Zhivago's poetry at the end, even though it was really written by Pasternak. But the other thing is that there was a line in this poem that really struck me as beautiful, and I used a variation of it in a description in my short romance. And it's the street lights are just like butterflies of gas. And I just really love that visual image. Anyone who knows me knows I love lightning bugs and butterflies and all of that. So it's just, it was a beautiful image, and I kind of retooled it and included the description in my writing. It influenced me a little bit in that story. Okay, so that is that for today. We'll check back. Hopefully I'll have something for tomorrow. Okay, have a good day.